大家好，我是 Olive Branch Allen. So I understand that not all of you guys had a very athletic background. Perhaps you didn't do a lot of sports, you studied more or played more musical instruments, which is fine. But now that you want to get into shape, you want to get fit, you want to start an exercise routine, and you see HIIT is probably a very effective protocol, but it's kind of intimidating. It sounds serious. High intensity training, after all, sounds very serious. And it's probably saved for athletic training purposes only. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not correct. It is for you. It's for anybody who is reasonably fit and healthy. And anybody who's a beginner can also start doing HIIT as long as you follow a couple of principles. And I'm here to share that with you now. So first of all, fitness or exercise training has nothing to do with athleticism, okay? So fitness is simply a bunch of exercises, movements that you're doing to elicit a specific adaptation in your body. You're making changes to the body. Athleticism is specifically to coordination and skill and agility and movement and balance that can be very specific for certain sports and sport performance. But we're not here to perform for any team or people. We're just here to get healthy. So HIT, or high intensity training, is simply about how hard you're trying in that exercise. It's about simply your effort level. It doesn't have anything to do with your genetic potential or your coordination or your background experience or even your body awareness. It's just how hard are you trying at that moment. Of course, if you had all those things I just mentioned, then it will increase your chances of improving, making progress, and to getting results. But by no means are any of that really required to do HIT. So let me just give you an example. Back when I was in college, my next door roommate, we used to go to the gym together and lift weights. And whenever he was too busy or for whatever reason he couldn't come to the gym with me, he would tell me that he would just stay in his room and he would just contract and he would flex his muscle as hard as he could. And usually that would last around 45 seconds before he would gas out, because it's really hard. If you're really squeezing the muscles as hard as you can, it's very tiring. And that, in a sense, is high intensity training. As you can see, you can just do that while you're seated at your desk. As long as you're focusing on the muscle that you're trying to develop, you can just squeeze. You can tense up your entire body. This is known as isometrics, or timed static contraction. And you're just contracting. It's static, you're not moving, and you can fatigue the muscles into a very, very deep level. And it actually has been shown through studies, it can actually make significant body adaptations for strength. However, you probably have encountered many other gyms or trainers who have been telling you to do HIT and showing you some of the moves, and it does seem very complicated. It's complex and somewhat dangerous, and you don't know how to do it properly, and you don't know if it's actually giving you a benefit because you just don't know how to do it well. Well, I'm here to tell you that HIT is not what you do, it's actually how you do it. You can make anything high intensity, or you can make the most complicated exercises low intensity by simply how hard you're working in that exercise. So if you're doing something that's very complicated to do, like Olympic lifts, throwing barbells above your head with load, that can be extremely dangerous, and that's why they must teach you a lot of form, technique, which can eat up a lot of time. And if you don't do that right, you get injured. So that's complexity that you won't be able to tap into intensity because it's just too complicated unless you're really, really good with the technique. And so that's why you need to understand is that certain exercises, if they're so complicated, you won't be able to work out intensely. And then that lowers your adaptation ability. And so if you're trying to gain skill and improve in that exercise, then by all means. But if you're just trying to get fit and strong, then finding simpler exercises where you can push really hard is probably a better idea. So in summary, guys, HIT is simply trying very hard at a given exercise you're doing. It has nothing to do with athleticism. So your coordination, your balance, your skill is not important. So give it a go and you might enjoy it. And hopefully you'll find the benefits of HIT training. So if you have any more questions, please leave them down below. I do read each one of them. I might not answer all of them, but I do definitely read them all. So please do, and I'll see you next time.